It's one thing to just be throwing spaghetti against the wall and trying to hope that something's going to work out, something's going to work, versus doing activity that produces a result. Hey guys, Brandon Hall here, and coming at you guys, we're going to actually talk about habits as a producer that translate over into being a successful agency builder and what that really looks like. And I thought of doing this video because, I don't really like to talk about myself, but I've done over $1 million in annual premium issue paid for the last couple of years, and I've had my license now for right at 8 years. And, whenever we went to not just going out and selling insurance, but also building a successful agency, I noticed that a lot of the same habits that I had as a producer really translated well over to building an agency. And what's funny is a lot of top producers kind of shy away from building an agency for a while until they get to a point where maybe they're tired of running so many appointments and they're just kind of worn out a little bit, right? So I think it's really helpful to kind of understand that being a successful agent, you're doing a lot of the same stuff. It's just maybe the conversation's a little bit different. So the first one is something that I really hold dear because I'm as a $1 million plus producer, you have to be really good at doing this, and that's activity. So, as an agency builder, as a producer, the biggest focus that you have to have is understanding that activity is activity. And there is a such thing as execution when it comes to activity. It's one thing to just be throwing spaghetti against the wall and trying to hope that something's going to work out, something's going to work, versus doing activity that produces a result. So I think it's important that, once you find that thing that works, that system that works, that process that works, you got to do it and don't change it. Don't try to make it cute. Don't try to tweak it. Don't try to just kind of, make it your own, as you hear some people say. I think that you have to duplicate it and you have to incorporate it and do it exactly how it says. And like I tell my agents all the time, look at it like a recipe. It's a recipe for success. Whenever you go buy a box because you want to make, a cake or something like that, the box tells you, buy this many eggs, use, a certain type of oil, use this much of it, 1 cup, 2 cups, milk, or you want to use water, whatever it is. It gives you the ingredients and how much is required, right? So you take that box back, you go home and you're like, oh, I'm out of vegetable oil, but I have this olive oil. I'm just going to use that instead. I've done that before. Big mistake, right? I'm out of milk, or I don't have enough milk, so I'm just going to put water in here. So what happens whenever you use the ingredients that are not supposed to be used, you're using different ingredients than are on there, and then you go to bake the cake, it comes out and you're like, this thing is disgusting. It tastes nasty, or the consistency is way off, or this isn't a cake, this is awful. And you're not surprised that it's wrong. You're not surprised that it tastes bad because you put the wrong ingredients and you didn't follow the directions. So the same thing happens in business as an agent, being a successful producer, but also an agency builder, is, whenever you have those ingredients that are supposed to be used for success, you got to duplicate them over and over again. And you got to remember, activity is activity. You got to put as much activity as possible. The biggest detriment that you can have on your business is if you ever adopt the mindset that now that I'm building an agency, I don't have to work as hard. And that might be true for you. You might have become an agency builder so that you don't have to work as hard. But just understand that you're going to get to a point where you're going to look at what it was like being a producer and saying, I was making more money then. And if you were making more money then, it's because you probably scaled back on your activities. So don't do that. The next one is understanding that, whenever you're going out and you're selling insurance, you're selling to clients to help their financial future. So that's the product that you're offering. Well, whenever you're building an agency, the product that you're offering is now helping people secure their financial future, not in an insurance product, but in going out and selling insurance. So now you're selling an opportunity versus selling a product. And, that can be a little bit more difficult because you have to be really good at painting a picture. You have to really, really be good at pointing out the things that the person can do, pointing out the things that, you don't have to be a successful salesperson. You don't have to have a successful career in sales. You don't have to have an insurance background to be successful. So now you're painting a different picture, and what you're selling is an opportunity versus a product. But it kind of is the same thing for you as an agency builder, and that now you're not just helping the client, now you're helping yourself have insurance for your income. Because if you're sick and you can't work, for a couple of weeks, or you go on a vacation as an agency builder, whenever you have agents going out producing, you're earning overrides. Now you are still making money, even though you're not out selling insurance anymore. So it's kind of the same thing. And I think that's what I think if a successful producer wants to become an agency builder, it's all in how you look at it, right? And last but not least, huge. Oh my gosh. So you have to understand that as an agency builder, you're going to have adversity just like you have adversity as a successful producer. It's just different. It's a different type of adversity. So as a successful producer, the adversity that you deal with is, weather, other people having bad days, your emotions, family things that happen in your life. Maybe a specific lead vendor isn't having the best lead flow, or, your lead flow changes, or, you have to kind of pivot your business a little bit with different products and things like that. There's different headaches that come up, or there's different adversities that come up. So what you have to understand is when you become an agency builder, you're going to have adversity still. Don't think that it's just the easy way out. Now you can kind of go sit on a beach somewhere with your pineapple drink and, just chill. So there's going to be headaches that come with that. There's going to be adversity that comes with that. So you have to remember the adversity that you had as a successful agent, and you have to bring with you the way that you handled that adversity. And a lot of times the best way to handle adversity, guys, is to just plow right through it. It's to jump right in. It's not to avoid it. It's not to try to research different ways of handling it and, beat around the bush. It's really, a lot of times it's just hitting it straight on. And so I think that you have to, if you want to be a successful business owner, building an agency, you have to be good at handling that adversity. So if you think as a producer, you really didn't have that much adversity, then you probably didn't push yourself hard enough. Because whenever you become an agency builder, now you're going to be dealing with a lot of personalities. You're going to be dealing with excuses. You're going to be dealing with, people making promises they don't keep. There's a lot of different things that come with that. And so I don't want to sugarcoat that to you. So if you really want to be successful on both sides, remember adversity comes with it, and you wouldn't get paid so well if it was so easy. And if it was just so easy for everybody to do, because they'd have the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts out doing it for no money, right? So I hope this was valuable to you guys for this segment, and I will see you next time.